is fantastic. Welcome everybody. We'll just give a couple of seconds to let people jump in, pop on their screens if they would like to come and say hi, and pop in the chat for me where you guys are actually from. I would love to know where you're from. Okay, here we go. This is awesome. Great. So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to pin my beautiful team so that you can see us in the flesh, so you know who you're going to be seeing tonight in their beautiful Thermomix world. I've lost one. Where's Lyndall? Here she is.
I'll talk.
Okay,
there you go.
Here we are. So my name is Tracy Griffin. I am based in Ararat and am the team leader for Western Victoria up through to Bendigo, across to Mildura. So we've got a whole big area that we look after, and we're very excited to have you here with us tonight. So tonight's online workshop is called Christmas Made with Love. Now, the reason that we called it that is because I think Christmas is a very, very special time where you can actually make some special things for your family and your friends. One, that's going to save you a lot of money on presents. And two, it's special. So we should treat them special too. So tonight we're going to be showing you some dishes you could have for dinner, lunch, on Christmas Day, at a barbecue. We're going to be showing you some gifts that you can give to the people you love. Some alcoholic beverages, of course, and some little treats along the way as well. So with me tonight, I have the amazing Simone Wills. Just wave, Simone. Hi. We've got Lyndall Holt there as well.
Hi, everyone.
And
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas. And we've got Anne O'Connor.
Hello, everyone.
That's awesome. So guys, I'm just looking at our chat. We've got people from New Zealand, Murrayville, Bendigo. We've got Ballarat, Manangatang, Horsham, everywhere. So welcome everyone. I'm so excited to have you all here. Okay, so guess who's first off the rank? Me. So as we get started, if you've got any questions or any comments or anything you'd like to know, just pop it in the chat for us and we can get that sorted for you. That's not a problem. But tonight, I'm going to be showing you how to make, the recipe is called turkey breast roulade, which means a turkey roll with an apricot and hazelnut stuffing. So this is one you can do for Christmas. You could do it at a barbecue. You could pre-do it and take it cold for a picnic. It's really, really easy. So I'm going to show you exactly how to do it. So first of all, I've popped all these recipes in my meal plan, as you can see here. And I'll literally just click on it. If I scroll down, while I'm doing that, let me know if you're an owner of a Thermomix, how long you've had it. If you are new to Thermomix and haven't seen one before, just pop in there. Curious or would love to see it in action, that's fine, just so I know who I'm talking to. So as you scroll down, you can see exactly what you need for your ingredients, and I've got them all here. So the first thing we're going to do is make the apricot stuffing. Now, this apricot stuffing is the easiest thing in the world. If you didn't want to do apricots, you can sub out these ingredients for whatever you want. So I am actually going to be doing the apricot because I love them. First of all, our base, garlic, 1 garlic or 3, depending on what you like, and 40 grams of onion. So I'll put in about half an onion or half an eschalot. I hit next, and it's asking for 20 grams of butter, which I've done, just little cubes of butter. It's asking me to insert the measuring cup. So that means leave it in there. Pop it on, and we're going to blitz that down for 3 seconds. So we've got our garlic, our onion, and our butter. We'll zip it round to speed 7. It's great to see we've got some of these owners have been owners for 6 and 7 years. You're well and truly part of our Thermomix clan. And I love to see there's a few new owners here as well. Look at that, 3 seconds. You do not fry when you cut onions this way, that's for sure. I'm just pushing it down into the bottom of the bowl. As it says on the instructions, beautiful thing about Thermomix, it tells you every step of the way. Place a simmering basket instead of the measuring cup, and we're going to cook that down for 2 minutes on speed 1. Okay. Now, the reason we're doing this is because we're going above 100 degrees. So as we know now, our Thermomix likes to cook over 100 degrees with our simmering basket. But I'm lucky enough to have a TM5 measuring cup. Because the TM5 measuring cup doesn't lock in, I can actually use that. So if you do have both models, you can use the 5 cup in this machine as well, or place a simmering basket on top. So while that's happening, I'm just going to be talking about the word roulade. The roulade means round roll. So we're going to be rolling out our chicken with our stuffing in the middle, and we're going to be steaming it on our aroma. The simple way to bang out chicken, I'm using chicken tonight instead of turkey, by the way. What I do is I place 1 breast between 2 pieces of baking paper, as you can see. You can use a meat mallet if you want to. I prefer to use a rolling pin purely because the meat mallet tends to break the baking paper. Just my preference, but it's up to you. So all you're literally doing is literally banging like this. I'm not going to do it online. It's going to make a lot of noise. Literally banging it out until it's about 5 mil thick. And what that will do, that will just help it steam through. So it's literally, you've got your breast in between 2 pieces of baking paper, banging it out. You could also use a silicone bread mat if you wanted to, but I'm going to show you a really good way to roll these using that mat, so I didn't want to get it dirty. So that's how I did my chicken. So our garlic and our onions have cooked down. Check this out. If you could smell, oh my God, that smells so good. I'm just going to hit next. Now we're going to add our dried apricots. So it's asking for 80 grams. Once again, my scales have come back to 0. I hit next. It's asking for raw hazelnuts, 50 grams. Throw them in. As I said before, you could use whatever you wanted. You could use dried fig and almonds. You could use goji berry. You could use whatever you wanted, really. 2 sprigs of parsley straight in there. Some salt. Some pepper. I'd love to know if anyone's made a roulade before, because it's something, I think it's something it is a bit special that's going to wow the family of friends, that's for sure. So we're going to chop this down for 10 seconds on speed 7. I love these messages. We've got some new owners that have had their Thermomix for about 3 weeks. We've had some that have had them for 6 months and some that have had them for 3 months and 6 years. I love it. Thank you all, guys. I'm so glad you're here with us. So let's have a look at what that looks like. It smells amazing. Look at that. So that's your apricot and your nuts all chopped down, ready to go in the stuffing. And I tell you what, if the smell has got anything to do with how it's going to taste, I think I'm very excited already. So it's asking me to transfer into a bowl and set aside. Now, another little tip, when you're tipping out of your bowl, it's really good to hold it down here. And it allows you to tip little bit easier on your arm, so your elbow's not right up like that. So you hold it under. This helps it ergonomically. It's a little bit easier on your body. So I am scraping all that out. It smells absolutely amazing. And this is definitely one I'm going to do for my family for Christmas, that's for sure. Okay. Transfer into a bowl and set aside, which I've done. It's now asking me to add one more garlic. One garlic. Some more onion, which I've got. 20 grams of butter. So now what we're doing is we're making the stock that we're going to cook it in, because we're going to cook it in our aroma. Insert measuring cup. Next, scrape down the sides. You'll find a lot of recipes say to scrape down the sides, and that's purely to push the ingredients down to the bottom of the bowl where we want them to be, so they can get nice and sauteed lovely. Now we're going to cook that down for 10 minutes. While that's happening, I'm going to roll one for you. I'm just going to see how I slid that. Because I've got the glider board, I can actually slide it on my bench. If you don't have a board underneath, please do not slide it. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab my silicone bread mat, like so. I'll do it here so you can see it. I'm going to place some Glad wrap. We'll pull out some Glad wrap. Roughly about the same size as my bread mat. And that is literally just laying on top there. I have my chicken breast, which I've already pounded out, like so. And I'm placing that in the middle of the Glad wrap. I hope you can see this on your screen. I think you can. No, I'll go this way. Okay. Now, all we need to do is this stuffing is going to go in the middle. So I want to go long ways. So I'm going to put it on the side actually, like so. I'm a hands-on sort of cook, so rough is good. Use your fingers and just push down that stuffing. And I've got 2 chicken breasts to do tonight. So you can see that's perfectly sitting on there. I'll just give you a quick look. So it's in the middle. And all I'm going to do is I am literally going to roll my chicken. Tuck the end in. Roll, roll. So it's half rolled for me. I'm going to grab my silicone bread mat. Tuck it in as we go. And that's going to give me a nice firm start to my roll. Get my Glad wrap on. The recipe says to use foil. And I've made a roulade once before, but I think Glad wrap is really good because it holds it nice and firm while it's steaming. Okay. Then we just keep rolling that. See how it's like a sausage? Roll it like a sausage. Grab the ends. It's sort of like butter. Grab the ends and twirl. There you go. Did you notice how I did that? In hindsight, I reckon it's probably easier just to do it with the Glad wrap alone. So that looks absolutely amazing. Imagine taking that to a barbecue cold set with the apricot in the middle. You're going to blow your guests away. Anyway, I'm going to show you that again. So let's go through. We've just cooked our onion and everything, and it wants me to add 500 grams of water. So tear it back. So we're actually making a stock that we can cook our chicken in. Yep, that's good enough. Teaspoon of chicken stock paste. I'd love to know who makes your chicken stock paste. I keep mine in the freezer, and it lasts forever. I actually use the offcuts of all my chicken. If I'm using chicken thigh and you know those little bits you cut off the end, I always just use those. Okay. It's asking for my aroma, which I've got over here. We've got potatoes in it, which is great. Just bear with me a second. You know what's really weird? Got 2 Thermomixes and 2 Varomas, but I've lost one. Anyway. Okay, so we've done our roll. That's literally going to sit in the Varoma. And I'm going to do one more, just so you can have another quick look at how I did that. Okay, so roll out my Glad wrap. Lay my chicken breast long ways.
Can you tilt your screen a bit down, Trace?
Yep. How's that? Better? It's like a little sausage roll going in the middle. Just think of it as, yeah, if you think of it as pastry, where you just want to make a little sausage roll with your chicken and your stuffing, like so. So just a quick line through. I then take my Glad wrap and roll it nice and tight. So peel back the Glad wrap a little bit at the beginning. Yep. So you can get it right in there, nice and firm. Keep pushing it as you roll, like so. I'm going to tuck my little ends in. Even if you didn't tuck your ends in, it's not going to matter because you could just cut them off nicely. Roll it all up in my Glad wrap. Grab the ends. Well, if I'm making garlic butter or anything like that, that's how I do my logs as well for the freezer. Okay. Okay, so that's that. So all we need to do now, put them in our aroma dish. This is taking a little bit of time. That's why we wanted to do this one first, because it just really wanted to show you. Because I think it's one that you could really use over the summertime, that's for sure. There they are. Okay, we've done all that. Now it's asking me to cook them for 20 minutes in the Varoma. So I just put my lid on.
Tracy, could you put that on the barbecue, like when it's cold and heat it up?
Oh, yes. You would only sort of char it. You wouldn't have to cook it through, obviously, but yeah, definitely. It would be like it would also set, I would think, like a cold tureen if you wanted to have it made cold. Great for picnics, great for work lunches, great for Christmas Day. I'm going to show you how good it's going to look on a platter when we're finished. So what do you think of that? I'd love to know what you think of that recipe. These will all be getting emailed out to you along with the recording of today's session. So, which is everyone that's registered will get one. So we're going to go on to Simone now. Simone is going to be making, I'm going to let her tell you this.
So I'm going to make salted caramel fudge.
Oh my God.
Most people really enjoy it. So, and it takes a little while to cook. So we're going to, so it's on the recipe is actually on Cookie Do. And I use it a lot at Christmas to put in hampers that I do. It says to line a square baking tin with baking paper. I actually use the silicon silicon things that you can get from off the mix shop, or Kmart or anything like really. They're much easier to get them out. Or I've even used, last year I used ice trays and they've come out perfectly little square.
What a great idea.
Although it was hard to get them out of there. It's much easier to get out of silicone. So
At
it's
least with, but at least with the molds, they're already sort of got half their shape, haven't they?
yeah, absolutely. And I've also got a mold from the mix shop. Oh, excuse me. I'm not sure if you can see. It's got a pattern on the bottom. See
Yeah.
that here. That's really good because the pattern actually comes out on the. I'll show it later when I finished on the ones I did this morning. But yeah, that looks really cool too, especially if you're doing it as a present. So yeah. So first up, I need 170 grams of milk chocolate, small pieces. My chocolate's just from Aldi's, really creamy, really nice. So 170 grams of that. Go next. And we're going to just mill that down for 8 seconds. Bit loud, but anyway. So we transfer.
All right. We can't hear it.
Oh, well, you're lucky. We're going to transfer that into a bowl and we'll add that to the mix later. But once again, you don't have to clean your bowl. You just keep adding into the bowl. So hence, less cleaning up. This time of the year, less cleaning up is good. So then I'm going to add 395 grams of condensed milk. I make my own condensed milk, 2 minutes, easy peasy. And you can just make it whenever you want. I also live out of town, so it's not as easy to go into town and buy the tin stuff anyway. So it's just as good. And we've got 160 grams of brown sugar. Once again, I make my own brown sugar. It's just raw sugar with treacle added to it. And the recipe is actually on Cookie Do as well. And 120 grams of salted butter. I didn't make the butter.
But isn't it great that we can?
Yeah, absolutely. I've been busy, so I haven't made butter, sorry. And 75 grams of golden syrup. Yes, I made the golden syrup too. And I've also got glucose as well in that because it's a bit of a sticky mess. So and the glucose was just 50 grams of glucose and a pinch of sea salt. And because this is going over 100 degrees, like Tracy said before, I'm going to put the simmering basket on top. And that'll just cook away for 8 minutes. And then we'll come back. There you go, Trace.
Thank you. That's absolutely fantastic. And to think you can make all those ingredients. So that's a recipe that you could really make a lot of gifts and things. So you mentioned, Simone, you use them in your hampers.
Sorry, what was that?
You make a lot of Christmas hampers with this sort of recipe?
I do. I put yo-yos, I put the $250 cookies in there, snickerdoodles, shortbread, fudge, spice mixes, little cakes. I use the cake, just the basic Christmas cake mixture on Cookie Do, and then I put it into ramekins, cook them in the oven at 160 degrees for about 30 minutes. And then I pour grog over them again when I get them out. And apparently my mum says they're nice. So, you know, my husband's donated his rum to those. He's not aware of that, however.
I love it.
And
That's awesome.
they've been cooked before we went on holidays a couple of weeks ago. So they'll be nice and moist, ready for the hampers for Christmas. So, yeah.
And what a lovely gift. You know what? We don't have to spend a fortune, and, you know, you can feel when homemade gifts, I love them. I just love them. And it's nice to share with your own people when, you know, someone gives you something, you have people come over for a coffee or something like that, you get to share it with everybody else.
And it's not about how much it costs either. It's about the love that comes with it.
Yeah, exactly. So what I'm going to be quickly doing now is showing you how quick it is to make a potato salad. This is a no-brainer, and if you haven't made the Aussie potato salad yet, you need to, because it is so easy. Now, tonight, because we didn't want to just have you sitting there watching potatoes steam, I'm going to talk you through the recipe. So basically what I did, I always have boiled eggs in my fridge. So egg boiler mode, here we go. Or it is actually part of this recipe where you cook them in the basket here while you're steaming your potatoes in your aroma. So I've already done that earlier. So these potatoes are nice and steamed. I just cut them down into, you know, little bite-sized pieces. Beautiful, and they're ready to go. So once again, I put this in my weekly plan. So I'm literally just going to bring up my plan. I'm going to go to Aussie potato salad. Because I've pre-done it, I can skip some of these steps. So I'm just going to scroll down. I've done the water, I've done the eggs, I've done the potatoes, and they're all cooked lovely. So set the potatoes aside in a bowl, which I'm going to do here. Now, this recipe is my kids' all-time favourite. We make this often, so it's beautiful. It's now asking me for, I'll just go a clean bowl. Isn't it great? 2 bowls. That's the current deal at the moment. So, there's anyone on tonight that hasn't got a Thermomix? Now is the time. Believe me. Extra bowl for $29 and only $400. So there's our potatoes. Put them aside. It's asking me for some bacon. Throw that in. Some spring onion chopped up. Pop that in. A tablespoon of olive oil. Don't be scared to use any, if you want, like if you've got a garlic infused oil or something like that, please feel free to use whatever you like. It's asking me to pop the lid on, and we're going to cook that down for 5 minutes. Now the Thermomix is saying it's in reverse, so it's already selected that on my screen. And what that means is it's not going to chop that bacon down any further. It's just going to cook it really, really nicely. So I'm going to let that cook, and we're going to fling over to Anne. I'll come back later and make the mayonnaise for you, but we're actually going to see what Anne's been doing, because this is a beautiful, beautiful recipe, isn't it?
It is. It really is. I've actually got into the habit of making this pesto star bread at Christmas because it just looks so spectacular on the table, and it's super easy to make. So we've made a bread dough. The bread dough has milk in it and it has an egg in it. So this recipe's on Cookie Dough. It's pizza star bread. So I've pre-made the bread dough. I've proved it. I've divided it into 4, and then I've rolled the 4 pieces out. Now, I've elected tonight to do it on a small tray because the small tray will fit into my dehydrator, which I am going to use to prove the bread dough a bit quicker for the sake of the class today. Now, if you've got a fancy new oven, some of the new ovens have proving functions. Some of the steam combo ovens are fantastic for that. I know I've got a customer, I think Vera's on tonight. She's got an amazing new oven, and when we did her delivery, she proved the bread dough in no time in her fancy new oven. So what I've done is prepare it. Now, what I'm going to try and do is pull it out here. Hopefully, you guys can see what I'm doing. So, we'll start here. I've got a damp cloth over that layer, and I've got more layers underneath here. So, what I'm going to do is start with the bottom layer. Now, hence the little tray that will fit in the oven. So the first thing you do is you make the dough, roll it out, and now we're going to put passata on the bottom. So we're going to leave a gap around the edge, and I'm just going to check the recipe because it says, I think it's a 2 centimetre sort of gap at the edge. Just one moment. Yeah, all right. So we put the passata on. Now, it measures out the quantity and tells you how much you need. And I'm just going to spread it out. We leave a bit around the edge. Now, if you want to up this with flavour, you can take some passata and you can mix it up with some salami or some bacon, and then you can, oh goodness gracious, I've got it all over me already. You can add some tomato paste to it as well if you wish. You are in charge of what this flavour is and you do your thing. Then it says to combine some garlic, salt, oregano and black pepper, and you sprinkle that over here. This just gives it the flavour as well.
Once again, you can adapt whatever flavours you want. That's the beauty of guided cooking. It's guided.
Yeah.
You can add whatever you like.
Yeah. All right. And then
I love the screen, Anne. This is great. Showing this technique is awesome. Thank you.
Oh, that's all right. I'm improvising. We all had to learn how to improvise, Tracy, didn't we, in lockdown? We went straight to cooking classes online. So, but
it's great because you get to see close up these techniques, and we reach a lot more people. So
then we add our next layer, which I've rolled out on here, and I'm just going to tip that over and place it on. So hopefully it's roughly about the same size. Pull that off, done. And the next layer has the pesto. So we made the pesto. This is a little bit more than what the recipe said because I had about 50 grams of basil leaves, and so then I just upped it a little bit with the pine nuts and a bit more cheese and one more clove of garlic just for luck, and some salt, and it's just, you know, fine. It all works out, and I'll have some left over, so I'll use it for something else. Probably make a pesto pasta. So it should reach out to the edge roughly. If I was making this and not having to prove it in the dehydrator to make it quicker today, I would have rolled it out perhaps a little bit thinner and baked it on a bigger tray. But we're making this work for today. So this pesto has pine nuts, parmesan, it says pecorino cheese, but I didn't have it, so I have parmesan. It's got a little bit of salt and the beautiful basil and some olive oil. So really super easy to make. If you're going to store your pesto, put it in a container that has a small opening, and then cover it with oil so that it doesn't go black. And you can freeze pesto as well, and it just comes out beautifully. Now we're going to put another layer of bread over here. We've divided the bread into 4 pieces. So I've got another one. I'll place, oh, hang on, forgot. Goodness gracious. Got it, just egg wash the edge.
You're doing great, Anne. So I've just put a little recap in our chat. We've got a layer of dough, passata, a layer of dough, our pesto, and now our top layer. So
no, not top layer yet. We've got one. We're putting some mozzarella on this one, and then the top layer. Now, a little trick with your mozzarella. when you mozzarella is really soft, and you can grate it in your Thermi. So the secret to doing it in your Thermi is to cube it up and then pop it in a Ziploc bag in your freezer and make it Thermish. Okay. It didn't take long, and then you blitz it, and it makes it easier to blitz. Otherwise, it tends to go into a ball. So back to the thing. Sorry, Tracy, go ahead.
No, that's fine. We're just getting some really good comments. Linda's like, it just gets better. Yes, it does. It certainly does.
I never buy grated cheese. I always grate my own. And in fact, now you can get mozzarella, which you never used to be able to get, which is lovely. And you can grate your own. All of those pre-grated cheeses have antibacterial and anti-caking ingredients in them. So this is pure mozzarella. And that little bit left over, or that as well, I will freeze that. So now our top layer to go on. Oops, hang on, forgot the egg wash again. Man.
This is a meal within itself, isn't it?
It is. And you can, once you know how to do this, you can just adjust it to whatever you like. So we've got our last layer that goes on top. And with these silicone mats, it just peels off. It's so good. Now, the recipe, when I'm using dough, I like to use this to cut with because it doesn't harm my silicone mat. And somewhere here, I've got a cookie cutter to mark the middle. So roughly, let's hope that my eye is good. The middle, don't go all the way through the bread, but just mark a circle. I'm not sure how well that's come out. But then what you have to do is divide it now. So this is the tricky bit to do. And you've got to divide it all the way through. So there's another recipe on Cookie Dough, and it's called, I think it's called just, I get pizza pinwheel as well. And it's
What about that's the savoury options, but do you know there's a hazelnut star bread? You can make this with you can make your own hazelnut spread like a Nutella.
Yes.
And you can do this.
Yes.
Oh my.
Yes. And I reckon if you put a few marshmallows in there as well, just to give it that, that nice ooey gooiness to it as well. So what we're doing is we're cutting this into 16 pieces. So I'll just get to this stage here, and now I'll show you what we do, and I'll finish the rest off screen. So you take 2 pieces and make sure that they're separated. You've got all your layers, and you twist it once, twist it twice, and then bring it together down to a star. And you've got your lovely layers. So do it again. So take your 2 pieces, making sure you've cut all the way through. Twist it once. It's slippery. Twist it twice, and then pull it down to a point. Got the idea? So
yeah,
what
can you do again? One more?
One more, okay.
So you grab all the layers?
Yep. So just making sure I've got them all apart. Twist it, whoops, twist it once, twist it twice,
Yeah.
and then pull it down. So
Oh
what
my
I'm going
God.
I know. And when it bakes, it just looks so gorgeous with your different colours. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to prove this again, and then I will egg wash over the top, and then we'll bake it. And it only takes about 15 to 17 minutes to bake, and you cook it at 200 degrees. This recipe is on Cookie Dough. If you don't have Cookie Dough, you can get a month's free trial of Cookie Dough. You can sign up to it. Just remember that email that you use and the password, so that if you ever do decide to continue with Cookie Dough and subscribe, then anything that you've done on it before will be still there. So you can't send it to your TM5 unless you've got a cook key, but you'll probably be used to cooking manually anyway, so it just works beautifully. It works amazingly for the TM31 as well. So Cookie Dough is worth it. There are over 80,000 recipes there, and it's just so inspiring to use it. So get onto it, have a trial and see what you think. Tell the family you want a subscription for Christmas or something.
Look, it's amazing. When you purchase a Thermomix, you get 6 months subscription with it. So that is absolutely fantastic. But also, Lyndall, as you would know, your TM6 and your TM5 with the cookie actually get all updates through Cookie Dough, don't they? So
Yep,
you're
that's
updating
right.
your machine.
That's one thing I love about the TM6 opposed to the TM5. That you can just turn your TM6 on, it just updates. So it's great. And it updates all the wonderful, amazing modes, which tonight, I'm Lyndall, I'm from Bendigo. And tonight I'm actually in my caravan cooking Play-Doh for you guys. Now, if you just want to pop in the chat, who has got kids coming for Christmas? And if you did have kids and you were to make Play-Doh, what colour would you make? So we just want who's got kids coming for Christmas and what colour would you make? Now, my past history is I'm actually a kindergarten teacher. I'm an early years teacher. So I've been doing that for a long time. I haven't been doing it for the last 10 years, but I did about 15 years of that before that. So I'm showing my age, but age is good. And so I've made lots of Play-Doh, but making it with a Thermomix is just amazing. So what I've done is I have got a recipe off, there's a website called Bake Smile Plate, and she has a great website. She's got lots of different slices on it. I made lots of slices for my daughter's 10th birthday on the weekend. And she has Play-Doh, and it's one of the best Play-Doh Thermomix recipes that I've used. So what I've done is to make things a little bit quicker, because we've got a lot to fit in tonight, what I've already done is I've put the salt and I've milled the salt to make it finer, and I've actually heated the water. So I've done 250 mils of water. Now you will get, I'll get Tracy with her email to send through the Bake Smile Play recipe. But if you want to get onto it before, you just do Bake Smile Play Play-Doh. Oh, that's great. So what we're going to do is, I love the Thermomix. It goes to 1 gram increments, the TM6. So we're just going to put 250 grams of flour in. I'm just going to tear the scales. And then we just pop a thing of oil in. So about a tablespoon of oil. I'm an organic cook, so I don't tend to measure overly much when it comes to different things. So I just put a bit in. Now I tweak this recipe a little bit because I actually don't like mixing the colour in last. So I mix it in first. So in the recipe, it will say to mix it once you've actually get it out of the bowl, but I do it first and it combines nice. So tonight we're making green. Who would love pink? Pink's very in for Christmas, I reckon. You see a lot of pink things. Rainbow colours, yes, definitely grandkids love the rainbow colours. We're doing green, and with the green for Christmas, you can actually add some peppermint essence to make it Christmassy. You can even make a gingerbread colour like a brown and put some spice mix in and things like that. Tonight, towards the end, I'm actually going to add some gold glitter as well, just to make it extra Christmassy. So I've done the oil and the water. Now it just says to mix for 50 seconds. So I'm going to go back to my home screen and I'm going to do mix for 50 seconds. And at speed 4. Now, if you can hear me, tell me if you've made Play-Doh in the Thermomix before. Has anyone made Play-Doh before in the chat?
Yeah, there's a few. Some have, they love pink, they love the rainbow colours. And yeah, lots of people have actually. Yes, it's going off
great,
now.
Catherine.
So
Yeah, Catherine
also,
did the same recipe.
Lyndall, there's a great recipe that come out in the TM31 cookbook, which is a fantastic Play-Doh recipe. We've actually got a copy of that in our assets. So I'm going to add that along with your recipe to our email we send out to everybody tonight. So you'll get two very good Play-Doh recipes. They're both very similar. But this one comes back to way back in the 31 days.
Oh,
So
wow. It must be a very good recipe back in the heyday. Now, I'm going to, at this point now, we're going to knead it. So we're just going to knead it for a minute. And then this is where I'm going to put my gold glitter in. So I'm just going to put a bit of gold glitter in. And I'm just going to knead that for a minute. Once again, it's one of the amazing modes on the TM6, which is which I love all the modes on the TM6. I did have a TM5, but I ended up passing her on because I just thought the TM6 is, yeah, I just never cooked with my TM5 once I got my TM6, and it's just amazing. We'll just let that knead for a little bit. Now, while we're doing this, I have got online. Who loves Pinterest? I love Pinterest. And they've got little labels that you can actually do. So I'm just going to, I've printed off little labels like that. And I'm going to show you how to knead it. But what I've done is I've just pre-made some. So I'm actually just done up little bags. And what I've done is I've put some little, I don't know if you can see that, some little sequins.
Yep, we can see it. Looks great.
You can put like some tinsel and all these different things you can get, and just make them up, and it's just like little make your own Christmas tree, and it just makes it fun. I'm actually making them for my son's class, and so all his friends will get, instead of the good old candy cane with a Christmas card. I don't know how many kids give them out these days. Yeah. Which a good trick for candy canes, if you want to use some, crush them up and put them on melted chocolate and give it back to the teachers as a Christmas bar.
Oh, good idea.
That's a great recipe. It's really delicious. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use my spatula. Sorry, 2 seconds. And once again, I've got the mat like Tracy has, and I love these mats. I think one's not enough. I definitely think you need two, especially if you've got multiple kids. And so I'll show you why I love this Play-Doh. I won't get it all out. I'll just get a little bit out. So it's really, you can see that it's not sticking to my hands. Can you see that? It's like actually quite, it looks sticky, but it's actually not. And it's amazing, soft, really workable, pliable Play-Doh. It's actually, yeah, it's a really good recipe. So
it looks really clean, Lyndall, like really clean.
Yeah, it's really smooth. I cook this for my 3-year-old and it lasts for ages. So it's really good. I went into my son's class and they got the 2 prep classes together, and we had 45 children, and I took my Thermomix in and we did a Play-Doh session in there, and all the kids just absolutely loved it. And that was super fun. Yeah, and so it's actually a really good recipe, and you can pump out a lot. This recipe, I reckon if you did it up, would probably make about 8 to 10 batches like that size. So, but also too, on her website, she actually breaks down. So a batch of Play-Doh costs $3, which you can get 8 servings out. So I think, as once again, Thermomix saves you money. So I think that's a great money saver and a great gift to you. You can work out the maths on that, because it's too late at me for a night to do that.
That is a great gift. And imagine turning up Christmas Day, giving Play-Doh a couple of cutters, the kids would be gone. You'd be able to sit back on those cocktails and not worry about them.
Yeah, well, and the thing about the other thing is you can do it with your children or your grandchildren, because it's really nice and warm and it's very sensory, and it's great for those sensory kids who just love that, or sensory adults. I love it to do that. So that's me done. If there's any questions, just pop them in the chat.
Thank you. That was absolutely fantastic and great ideas. Definitely. And also for that sensory tactile play that, you know, some people love or need to have. Great.
And one of the
great
best
idea.
bits, Tracy, is that you can get it all out and you can put your pre-clean mode on and it cleans the bowl. So no
Yeah.
sticky Play-Doh.
Yep. Awesome. Awesome. Thank you. Simone, what have you got for us now?
Well, I scraped down the bowl because the chocolate was starting to go a bit hard. So it's now got 10 minutes and 50 seconds left. And then I'll add the chocolate that I milled earlier and we'll put it in the mold.
Okay. All right. We'll pop back to you later. Anne, what are you up to? You're just proving yours?
I am.
That's okay. We can, what I'll do is I'll show you how to make mayonnaise, okay?
Sounds good.
Sounds good. Okay. So here's our potatoes. This is the bacon that we cooked up before. Absolutely delicious. Now I'm going to show you how to make the mayonnaise. Now, tell me if you've cooked the mayonnaise on Cookie Dough. The cooked mayonnaise recipe, tell me. It's absolutely delicious. And the beautiful thing is once you make it, you can turn it into aioli, you can turn it into whatever you like. So tonight we're using 200 grams straight into our bowl. We're not cleaning the bowl after the bacon because we want to get in as much flavour as we can. 200 grams, 15 grams of whole grain mustard. So we are doing the dressing for the potato salad. 15 grams of whole grain mustard and 10 grams of balsamic vinegar. Now, you can use whatever you want as far as balsamic vinegar. And guess what? Yes, you can make it. It's amazing. The machine is amazing. But I found one I absolutely love, and it's got a fig base. So that's what I'm using tonight, a fig balsamic. We're going to insert our measuring cup. So I've got our mayo, our vinegar and our mustard, and we're literally going to blitz that speed 5 for 3 seconds. We got in the chat, yeah, heaps of people have made the mayo. Absolutely, it's a game changer. You will not buy mayo once you make it. I tell you that right now. Okay, so all we need to do, look at that. It looks delicious. So I'm just going to grab my spatula. Where is it? And I'm just going to scrape down all the sides and get every bit of this mayo out. Now, it says on the recipe step by step how to put your potato salad together. So it says to put the bacon and that in first and then pour your dressing over. I like to do the opposite because I think it covers the potatoes better. So I'm pouring my dressing straight in. Now, the dressing doesn't have to be completely all mixed through perfectly. Mine's a bit wispy. I can see the balsamic through it a bit wispy. And all I'm doing is I'm folding that through my potatoes. And they're slightly warm, so it's absolutely delicious. So it's coated all them really nicely, as you can see. I'll go in with half the bacon. So my bacon, my onion, and my spring onion. Go in with half of it. Mix that through. So it's sort of, it is through the whole potato salad. And I'm going to pop the rest just on the top. So when I serve it, it's going to have a really beautiful big mix of bacon. That's it so far. So what I do now with my eggs that we made earlier, I literally am going to just cut them in half or quarters, whatever you like. I've done them in quarters and I'm literally just going to sit them in and around. As people dive into these recipes, they will pick up a bit of egg if they want it, or they'll move it around if they don't want it. These eggs are still quite soft in the middle, so it gives you that beautiful bit of extra creaminess, I suppose, to the salad. Absolutely delicious. So the good thing about the egg mode is that you can actually cook them however you like. If you want them a bit runny or a little bit harder, it's entirely up to you. So let's have a look. Can you see that okay? Absolutely smells amazing. Don't be scared to throw on a bit of, you know, the fried onions, the crispy onions, or a bit of flaked almonds or something like that to add a bit of extra texture to that as well.
Looks great, Tracy. I really like it. It's so
Oh.
easy, isn't it?
Oh yeah, like how good is that dressing? Like serious.
Yeah.
I've got a daughter sitting here waiting to eat it. She's going, can I have it yet? Okay, so what are we going to do next? So I've still got to make the sauce for the chicken. Did you want me to do that, or did you guys do you want to do your rhubarb fizz or something, Anne?
Up to you. The rhubarb fizz is really quick, and so is the wet chai. They're super quick. So you go ahead and do the sauce
Yep.
if you like.
Okay.
I'm
All
happy.
right. Yep, we'll do that, and then Simone might be finished too. Okay. So tell me who's going to put that Aussie potato salad on their list for Christmas. I'd love to know.
Definitely, absolutely. It's just so easy. That egg boiler mode, Tracy, I get up in the morning, bung my toast on, put my eggs in, go have a shower, come back, my toast is cooked, my eggs are cooked. 10 minutes, done. It's brilliant. It's so, so good. I love it.
Now, before I show you the sauce, I'm going to these are my chicken logs. So remember, we wrap them in foil and we wrap them in Glad wrap. Now, the recipe says to wrap them in foil only. Can I make a tip? When you wrap it in foil completely, you've got to be mindful that it cooks the chicken all the way. So what I did, once it had cooked for about 6 minutes, I opened the foil so the steam circulated around the whole chicken. So that's just a little tip. And those are the sorts of things you find out once you've made a recipe once. You think, you know what, I think I'll do that next time. So remember, it's guided and we're here to help, but you can tweak the recipes to what you like. So all I do now with my roll, they're very hot, so you need to let them set and cool for about 10 minutes. Take it out of the Glad wrap. Now, if you've got some kitchen scissors, you can use those. We've got great scissors in our toolkit or a sharp knife. I've just done. And I am taking that out. I'm just cutting my way through there. And it ends up looking like a naked chicken log, like this. And I cut it. Check that out. So that's one slice. So I'm going to put this, just cut through them again, just so you can see. It's so moist and absolutely beautiful. You know what? You don't even need to make the sauce on these. I'll show you. One of my friends gave me a beautiful cutting board, Simone. I'm going to place that on there so you can see what the chicken looks like in the centre. I hope you can see that okay. It's very hard. I might just lift my screen down actually. Can you see that? Is that a bit glary or? How good does that look? Absolutely beautiful.
Looks great, Tracy.
Oh, it smells good. And I'll tell you what, you can definitely make serve it just like that cold, or you can serve it however you like, really. So let me have a look. I'll bring it up again, and I'm literally going to scoop right down to the sauce. So I'll leave the stock in the bowl. Remember, we had our chicken stock and that in the bowl. We're not wasting anything. So that's it there, all ready to go. That's the stock. And all it's asking me to do is to add 20 grams of dry white wine or verjuice or whatever you want if you didn't want to use wine. 20 grams of plain flour, which I forget. I forgot to get out. It doesn't matter. Just weigh it straight out of the container. I love it. It's just going to make a nice thick sauce. Some Dijon mustard, which I've got here. It says a tablespoon. I'm going with, I've got a teaspoon, probably 2 teaspoons or so. Doesn't matter. Roughly. Some salt and some pepper. Now, this time without the measuring cup, we're going to cook this down for 4 minutes. So we want it to reduce down. So that's just going to be cooking away there on speed 3. Because it is speed 3, it doesn't really go outside of the lid. It needs to reduce down. If you were worried about splatter, you could put a simmering basket on there if you wanted to. So, how are we going, Simone?
Yep,
Tracy,
ready for the next one.
Tracy, we just got a question about the potato salad.
Yep.
Yep. So, do you reckon if you made it the day before, would it be good for the next day? Yes.
So what I would suggest you do is do it all the day before, but don't put it together until you're ready to go. So have your dressing separate, ready, have your bacon cooked and your potatoes done, but just before you go, just put it together. Definitely, because what will happen is you could make it the day before if you wanted to and let it sit there and the flavours will marinate. That's not a problem. But what you might find is it might be a little bit more dry because the potato has absorbed some of the dressing. So it really is up to you which way you want to do that, but absolutely make it the day before, not a problem. Off you go, Simone.
So I'm not sure if you can see that. That's the chocolate mix, or the mix with the stuff. That's cooked for 28 minutes. And now I'm just going to add the reserved grated chocolate, which is that. Ooh.
So we're going to recap. We grated our chocolate, then we put together all our condensed milk and our brown sugar to make the fudge. We cooked that for 28 minutes. Yep.
And then now we've just added the chocolate, and that 15 seconds, we're just going to mix that together. And then I'll put it in the little container that I've put
it in the molds.
Sorry?
Can you show us putting it in the molds? Yep.
And I've also got this one too. Yep. And this one you could cut into 3 pieces if you wanted, once it's cold, because you have to put it in the fridge for about 2 hours, preferably overnight. Just give that a quick little stir, because it's not the sides. And that's what that looks like. And I'll just pour that into here. So what I do is I just pour it over the whole mold, and because it's silicone, you can just like wipe it off between the little pieces, which works really well. And it doesn't last very long. I took some to a cooking experience last night, and the ladies were impressed with their take-home gift.
Oh, what a great idea.
And sometimes I put eyes and a Jaffa on the, I'll show you later what I've done. Eyes and a Jaffa, and it looks like Rudolph has melted.
Oh,
Simone,
just-
can you show us what you're doing? Can you move your camera down at all?
No.
Or
Not
move
really.
your, yeah, perfect. Perfect.
So I've just got the mold here and I'm just putting it in the mold and it's hot.
I'm loving these techniques, you guys. I'd love to hear your feedback so far. You know, do you love these extra techniques that we're showing you? Different recipes, different ideas. Do you have anything else that you might like to see in a different class? We'd love to hear it. Oh, that looks awesome. So what Simone's doing is literally she's just pushing all that fudge across the mold and it's filling each individual one as she goes. And we're going to see some of the fudge that she's already made at the end of our session. So you're just going to pop that in the fridge after that? Yep.
That's it,
Beautiful.
that one.
That's it.
Yep.
That's it. You know what? We're going to do yo-yos as well, but I reckon we might have to wait. We might have to put them into another class unless everyone wants to hang around. Anyway, we'll pop back to you in a little bit. Anne, what are you doing?
Well, I thought I might, am I on mute? No, okay. I thought I might do the vanilla wet chai. This makes a lovely gift and I have a friend that absolutely loves chai and I'm going to give it to her. It will last for up to a month. You keep it in the refrigerator and then you dilute it with your milk and make it up. But we're going to make the wet chai from scratch. Now my screen is just looking a little bit glary. I apologize.
No, it looks good.
Oh, does it? Okay. This is the recipe on Cookie Do, and I have made it before. Not like the rhubarb fizz that I'm making next. I haven't made it before, so I would have normally doubled this, but I didn't have quite enough ingredients to do it, so it won't quite fill my jar. And I will make some more tomorrow to add to it when I get the rest of the ingredients. So it starts off with 2 centimeters of fresh ginger peeled. Now, depending on how old your ginger is, whether you need to peel it or not, but I've got some ginger in there and then 30 grams of black tea leaves. So I've got English breakfast here and hopefully that's 30 grams. I did pre-weigh it. It is. And then 2 tablespoons of honey, which is beautiful local honey. So we'll pop that in. And then next, a tablespoon of lemon juice, and then I believe it's 2 tablespoons of orange juice as well, which I have pre-measured out here. This is a really simple recipe and very tasty. 2 teaspoons of cardamom pods. That was one of the things that I was running out of, and I didn't quite have enough tea as well. And then a teaspoon of whole cloves, which I have here. And I also have 2 star anise in that as well. So these are all sort of chunky bits and pieces that go into it. This is 2 cinnamon quills broken up into pieces. And when you mill your own cinnamon, it's amazing. It's just amazing. I mill my own and make it. 2 teaspoons of fennel seed. Finding a teaspoon. I don't know if anyone uses these, but these are the spice containers that I just love. They're called Mogans. Now, if you don't like any of these ingredients, you could perhaps if you're not fond of fennel, you could leave it out. So, and 1 to 2 vanilla beans cut into pieces. So in they go. And I think that's all our ingredients. Beautiful. Pop the lid on. And then 20 seconds, speed 7. Have a look at it. We need smell-a-thon again. This smells amazing. So scrape down the sides. So when you're scraping down the sides, just start from the top and go down between the ribs. I've got a really tiny spatula here. And then go around the top. And then we're going to repeat the process just to get it all mushed up and in together. Oh, this just smells amazing. Next, transfer it into a jar. Now I've got a gorgeous jar, so it won't fill that today, but I will make another mix of it, and then we will have another.
So Anne,
Yes,
this one here you're making now is called
wet chai.
So on Cookadoo, it's called vanilla wet chai.
It is vanilla wet chai. Now
Yep.
you can also make a chai powder as well, which I think it's on Cookie Doo. I'm not. I'll have to.
Yeah, this one.
Yeah, and that will last longer. This one, you mix 2 teaspoons of this in with 250 grams of milk. You can, excuse me, sorry, you can use your warm-up mode or your kettle mode to heat it up. So the warm-up mode will go to 90 degrees. That's its maximum temperature. And the kettle mode will go to 100. It's so easy to do. It's so delicious. I'll pop it into the jar and then we'll have a look at it at the end. Now, when you're on your recipe, if you want to use your scales at any stage, you can just bring them up in the middle of a recipe. Also, now I want to cancel that recipe, so I'll quit it and then I will go to my week again. And shall I do the rhubarb?
I think we're gonna save them for our next class, Anne. I'm gonna add Simone and Lyndall back on if they can, because I don't want to what do people, do they want to hang on, or because we've been over an hour already, so we've showed you so many beautiful recipes today. There was a couple more that we wanted to do, but they want to hang on. So
this is really quick. This is really quick.
Okay, so what we're going to do is we are going to do now a rhubarb gin fizz. So this is what you can pre-make beforehand. And Simone's going to show us something very, very special. So here we go. We're going to go back to Anne. I love that you guys are loving it, and we're definitely going to be coming here back soon. Okay.
200 grams of rhubarb in, a 10 centimetre piece of fresh ginger in, and then mix it. Better not get the chai. And $700 700 grams of gin. So
Oh,
I was going to make this to use up some rhubarb. I didn't have enough, so I had to go and buy rhubarb. I was going to use up some gin that I had. I didn't have enough. I had to go and buy some more.
you can't. It's okay to go and buy more gin.
So this is Aldi gin. It's a pretty plain gin. So all of that in. And then this is a Gordon's pink gin. I wasn't particularly fond of it. So it's going in. It's going to taste better once I've done this.
Oh, it will. It'll be your new favourite.
Then I had to buy some more Aldi gin just to make up the 700 grams. Whoops. And then another 5 seconds, speed 5. And then we tip this into a sterilized jar and we keep it in a dark spot for two weeks. So this we will combine and there's our mix. Tip it into our jar. I should get my funnel out, shouldn't I? Pour it into a prepared sterile jar, set it aside in a cool, dark place for at least 2 weeks to infuse. Once the gin is infused, use a fine mesh sieve to sieve it, discard the solids, then add frozen strawberries, ginger beer, and mix it. And you've got a beautiful cocktail. So I'm pretty excited to have this mix made, and I think it'll be pre-Christmas drink somehow.
I think so.
Yeah.
And also, once again, beautiful on the day, beautiful as a gift, or beautiful for just any time for a beautiful summer cocktail. Thanks, Anne.
No worries.
Okay, thank you very much. We're going to head over to Simone, who's got something really special. What do you got there for us, Simone? Hang on, I'll see if I can unmute you. There you go.
Yep.
We've got a little bit of glare on our screen, but that's okay. Doesn't matter because we're going to be doing manual, aren't we?
We are. So I have my mum's, I wouldn't say famous, but yo-yos. My mum's 90 and she got this recipe when she was about 20. So it's over 70 years old that I know of, and I don't know where she got it from, but anyway. So I'm actually, well, you actually use the scales. I need to change it, sorry. I need to go back, to the settings and change the scales to imperial. So this is in ounces. I don't know what it is in normal, but anyway, I just do it like this. Go back to my scales that are now in ounces. So I have 9 ounces of plain flour. 3 ounces of custard powder. My mum tells me not to use the Woolworths crap. It doesn't have enough colour in it. You need to have something that's, otherwise, she said they don't have enough colour to them. You need to use a proper one. And I don't.
So the Foster's, the good brand custard powder.
The good brand that makes them more yellow.
Okay, beautiful.
My husband still eats them and he doesn't care. But anyway, 3 ounces of icing sugar. 9 ounces of butter. I use butter. I don't use margarine. Butter just makes it better.
Absolutely it does.
And 1 teaspoon of vanilla, which is about the equivalent of a lid. Lid on. I always use the dough function when I'm making biscuits because it just doesn't get stuck around the bottom of the blade. If I can find it.
So the dough mode is better than using the mixing function.
Yes, because it goes one way and then it goes back the other way, and it doesn't all get stuck.
That's a great tip. I wouldn't have thought to do that.
I do that with all my biscuits, and then
Yeah.
then
What
I
I might
basically
do,
do
I
it
love-
until it comes together, which is less than 2 minutes, and then I use the old-fashioned biscuit forcer
oh,
and make pretty biscuits.
so what do you do once that so you need that for 2 minutes and that's it?
Yeah, pretty much. And then I put it in the forcer onto the tray, and then you cook them in the oven for maximum 10 minutes. I cook my biscuits at 170 degrees in my oven. 180 is too hot. It just depends how hot your oven is.
So at 170, you're going to get a nice even colour, aren't you? You're
Yeah,
not gonna
and
get-
you've got to watch them because you can turn your back and they can be brown, which I've done quite often.
So I want to hear from anyone on tonight who's made biscuits, who makes biscuits, who wants to try yo-yos. We do have a recipe on Cookie Do as well. And there's some in the recipe community which are absolutely amazing. But as you can see, Simone has literally just taken her mum's 70-year-old recipe and transformed it into a Thermomix one, which is absolutely fantastic. And thank you for sharing that with us.
So 1 minute 16.
Yep. So can you show us piping some out onto the tray?
So there's the dough. You can see the dough in there, like it's clumped up. And I just put see the dough, you can see it's like Play-Doh. It's really soft. And my mum was shocked when I told her I could make it in under 2 minutes, who now owns a Thermomix as well, I might add.
Oh, how old's your mum?
90.
Oh my God. So a 90-year-old just got a Thermomix?
My
Absolutely.
dad's 87, he makes bread. So,
You know, I have a 91-year-old customer who was able to stay in a home a bit longer with the Thermomix, which makes me very, very happy.
oops. So all I do is put that on the tray. This is a really old-fashioned biscuit cutter, like probably as
We
old.
can't see. We can't see what you're doing. Okay, so I've missed something. I talked too much. So you filled that cylinder thing?
I filled that,
Yep.
hook that on the top, and all I do is push down on that. And I just push it down, and then the biscuit. Yeah.
No way. Has anyone known about these things, or am I just learning this today?
Well, this type of thing is really, really old. Like this belonged to my husband's nana. And then
Oh,
you cook
wow.
them in the oven. See that? You cook them in the oven for maximum 10 minutes. But like I said, if you use that, they don't take as long to cook because they're a lot finer. Whereas if you did them up in balls and squashed them with a knife or a fork, they probably take longer to do.
Yeah.
But they
While
look nice.
while we're here, Simone, because I'm going to flip around to everyone now to show all our end products. We've got some great feedback. Our customers are absolutely loving it. Can you show us your fudge? I see the glimpse of it there.
So there's that one.
So
And
is that the actual shape straight out of the mold?
Yes. And I've
Oh,
put
wow.
some gold leaf on it or glitter just to make it look a bit more festive. And then I have my squashed Rudolph.
Oh,
So he's got little horns there made out of pretzels.
yeah.
And then I've got
Isn't it lovely?
my biscuits.
So that's the pattern that will come out when they cook.
Yeah. And then you just stick two together with some icing. And it doesn't have to be, it can be butter icing or just plain old icing like you'd put on a slice. My husband doesn't like butter icing. He likes it hard when he eats it. So they're really hard.
Thank you so much. That's absolutely fantastic. We're going to flip over to Anne now so we can have a, how's your pesto bread going? You know what? I almost forgot we had this amazing bread that you've been making. Look at that. Oh man, you know what's going to happen, don't you? We're going to make it. We're
I wish I
all
was
gonna
in
make
Anne's
it.
house tonight.
Oh, we can't hear you, darling. You're on mute.
Beg your pardon, sorry. Here's my little jar of wet chai, which I'll keep in the fridge.
So what do you do with that? You just mix that with milk.
Yeah. Yeah, any milk of your choice, you know, whether you like almond milk or oat milk or cow's milk, etc. And you can use your warm-up mode or your kettle mode to warm it up as well. And this is the beginnings of the rhubarb and ginger gin cocktail. Yeah.
Oh, wow. That's great. Thank you so much. That looks absolutely fantastic. Now I'll find, thank you. Absolutely fantastic gift ideas, all of them. You could do the bread as a gift, absolutely, as well. So Linda, we've got our Play-Doh. Can we have another look at your Play-Doh packaging? Wow.
There we go.
Great, simple gift idea. Awesome. I'm actually going to make some of that for our family Christmas. We have some little ones that would actually love doing that. Thank you so much. Now, what have I got? Let me have a look. So this is, I'm just going to pull my screen down. It might be easier to see. Can you see that all right? You guys let me know. So this is our chicken roulade. And this is our sauce that we made. So it's a mustard base. Just packing this by itself on a cold platter or a luncheon or something looks absolutely amazing. You can use the sauce if you want to, but you could just have it by itself. So that's the terrine. Here is my potato salad, which I've got people here waiting to eat. And the recipe with the chicken actually comes with potatoes. So I didn't do that part. So I've just served it with my potato salad. And it looks absolutely amazing. I would probably put a little bit more greenery in there than what I've got for presentation. But I hope you found some of those recipes and you're going to try them with your family over Christmas. I'm just going to add everyone back in. Now, does anyone want to jump off mute? And does anybody have any questions, any comments about tonight, anything like that? I'll just go through them. Judy's had one of those biscuit things for 10 years. Or she has used it for 10 years. Judy, we want you to use it and show us what you think. Marin's got one. She just needs a recipe which is the right consistency. So, Simone, are there recipes on Cookie Do that you can use that forcer with? Have you come across any that you use it with? So, is it because the dough needs to be drier? Is that what it is?
Softer.
Softer. You're on mute, darling. Okay.
No, it's got to be soft. So it's sort of warm, soft, like Play-Doh consistency.
Okay. So how do you get that in a recipe? Do you add more butter? Do you take it out? Does anyone know?
Probably has to be a fairly high content of butter,
Yeah,
to make it soft.
Yeah.
And the butter needs to be room temperature when
Yeah.
you're mixing.
Okay. Great. Well, we might do some. I might try and find one of those things. And
I've made ginger creams like at Christmas, and I've used the forcer with them, and they have a lot of butter in them too. So they just can't be like a chunky mix because they can't go through the holes.
Yeah, beautiful.
But those forcers are really old, those ones. So
yeah,
yeah,
awesome. Well, thank you everyone for joining us. Thank you, Lyndall, Anne, and Simone. You've been absolutely fantastic. Thank you everyone for coming along tonight. We've had an absolute ball. Merry Christmas to you all. You will get an email later tonight and you'll be able to make some of these beautiful recipes that we've got here. And we look forward to seeing you at our next one. Also on the email, you've obviously got your consultant. Make sure you're following them along on social media or Instagram, depending on where they come from. If anyone's got any questions or wants to stay on and have a little bit of a chat with us, please feel free. So apart from that, we'll see you next time.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
Bye.
Bye.
Thanks for coming.
Yeah, it's been great. I'm just going to take a photo. Everyone hold up their food because we're going to put this on our team page.
Oh, I can't see it.
We can't see it, Simone.
No, hang on. Shit.
Yeah, it's a start. Beautiful. Okay, let's have a look who's in the gallery. Well done, everyone. Oh, you know what? We forgot to mention the best thing of all. If you want to join us, I should have said all that. I just had too much fun. If you want to join us, please hang around and I can give you some information. If you want to know how to order a Thermomix, hang around and we can give you that information too. So, yeah, but jump off mute and say hello. Hello, Linda, Chris. And who's this one? Christmas Made with Love. I can't see the name. I'd love to have a look. What do you think of the class?
That looks like Vera. Is that Vera?
Hi, can you hear me?
Yes, we can, Linda. What do you think
How
of
are
the
you?
class?
Sorry?
What do you think of the class?
Fabulous.
That's awesome.
This,
Have you
this
been
is
to?
Lin- this is Linda's first Zoom.
Yeah,
I
I
was
know.
just going to say, have you been to one before?
No. Can you see me? Because I can't see myself.
No,
Yeah.
we can see you, Linda.
Oh,
Yeah.
God. Thanks.
So if you go up on the top
That was
screen, the top right-hand screen where it says View,
Oh, yeah.
if you click on that and click Gallery,
Yeah.
see all of us all at once.
Fabulous. Oh, Gwenda's hiding. She's my sister in Perth. She's on.
Hi, Gwenda. Come and say hello. Who's this lady? Who's this lovely lady sitting there? I can't. She's got Christmas Made with Love on the bottom of her screen. We'd love you to come off mute and say hello.
Is that Debbie?
Not sure. There's
I think-
Vera.
There's Vera.
Hello.
Hi, Vera.
Hello, Anne.
You'll have to make that pesto bread, Vera.
Yes, yes. I was looking at that, and that's definitely a Christmas one because I've got the whole family here. So,
Yeah.
yeah,
Well, it's beautiful. It really is. It's so easy to make, and it looks spectacular.
it does look spectacular. Yes.
Yeah.
Thank
Oh,
you. Thank you.
Done so well with that one. Absolutely. All the recipes tonight have been great, and our feedback from everyone on tonight has been absolutely fantastic. So, you know, I think we'll be back sooner rather than later. Don't you think, guys?
Yeah, it was a really good class. I thought we had great variety.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm just going to stop me. I'm just going to say goodbye, everyone.
Yeah.